Back live with you tonight, Takion in Focus, and thanks for staying on. The so-called Government of Local Unity in the City of Johannesburg is at loggerheads over the Metro's 83 billion rand budget allocation presented by Finance MEC Dada Morero. The group, consisting of ANC, EFF and the Patriotic Alliance, failed to come together to vote and ensure that the budget passes in council. The city's public safety MMC, Tshwaku, joins us now for more on that. Good to have you. And thank you very much, MMC, for coming on. The 83 billion rands budget set to be doing a whole lot in terms of infrastructure, development, water, and lights, and a certain amount of it also going towards fighting crime and security. Why would you not support it?
No, thank you very much. Good evening, Gustavo, and good evening to your listeners. Look, if you look into the allocation itself and then you just zoom in terms of the allocation for the public safety, it is not enough. There were concerns that we've raised from the budget steering committee, which was convened around January, Feb. That these are the items, these are the issues that we need to address at the public safety. The issues of stabilizing public safety, because you've got a lot of positions which are not being filled. People are acting and have been coming out into the public and saying that for us to be able to stabilize public safety, we need to ensure that all positions, actually critical ones, and also the positions where, you must have a spanner of control. They must be filled. And also there are issues that have raised, the issues of ensuring that bylaws are enforced. Also the new, the technical reaction unit, there's some more things that you actually need there as well. Also things that have to do with the working hours and all those things. So we've raised these concerns with the finance department, and I put up a case. And there were a whole lot of them, the issues of camera, to ensure that our cameras, they've actually been rolled out properly. We need more money, for the IIOC unit, which is the camera unit, to roll artificial intelligence and all those things.
Yeah.
So, but at the end...
So let's look at your allocation. It says 3-year capital budget allocation of 157 million. Some of the key projects to be implemented include 9 million rands for standby generators for the fire stations across the city, 19 million for firearms for recent recruits, 42 million to continue with the Integrated Intelligence Operating Center. That's a substantial amount. Operating budget allocation, 6.1 billion, mainly funds the cost of human capital and implementing programs such as combating lawlessness through improved bylaw and traffic enforcement. 335 million of the operating budget will be directed to bylaw enforcement. It's a substantial chunk.
Yeah, you are reading the highlights. For example, the IIOC, we told them that for us to be able to complete the project, at least a minimum of the 100 million is needed on that. But it's fine. I'm not worried about the capital budget. I don't have a problem with that. I can live with it. But now the devil is in the detail. If you go to the operational budget, by the way, we are running now at a minus like 843 million at this point in time. This is actually caused by the previous sins that actually have been there. So we have a shortfall of about 800 million on an operational budget, to a point that now over the next 2 to 3 months, at the end of the financial year, we can't pay our own staff. We've raised this matter with the mayoral committee that we are not, they must ensure that this shortfall, which has been caused by, there are some unfunded mandates that have been there for the past 3 to 4 years. And they've been running every single time to a point where we're always at the negative every single time before the end of the financial year. It's a shortfall. So we've raised this, when you're having that shortfall, it means that I cannot hire anyone, none whatsoever. So in other words, the public safety department is on a standstill. I've raised this in the mayoral committee that what is the way forward in terms of addressing a shortfall that we have on the operational budget? Because, I can't hire anyone, fill any vacancies, and also that actually affects some of the contracted services we're actually having. So a task team was established in the MECOM to say, please go out there and look at the finances of the public safety and ensure before the budget speech we have a resolution in terms of what's going to happen. Because if I don't address this, it means that it's an irregular expenditure of almost $1 billion in the Department of Public Safety. And I said, I'm not going to take that rep because I've been raising this for a very long time. And it must be, and when I arrived, I said that, are you aware that there's an irregular expenditure which is always incurring on a yearly basis? That is the currency that started in 2017. It needs us to really unpack it. It has to do with the VIP allowance that is there. It has to do with the security that is actually there, and there's some other unfunded mandates which are there before our time.
So
I said that I'm not going to go.
These unfunded mandates.
I said, Thabo, I'm not going to. We have a shortfall now. I can't pay staff.
Yeah.
And I need the MECOM to take a resolution. Because if I don't address this, it's going to go to the, to the MPEC and declare an irregular expenditure. And I said, an allocation must be done to really bridge a gap or a way forward in terms of what is going to be done. Now, we were just being ambushed by a budget speech, no resolution, none whatsoever, and a report was written and tabled in front of us and bulldozed that we must we must adopt it. And I told them that a task team that was put by the MECOM, it must come back and say, how are they going to deal with the shortfall that the public safety is happening? We are not too far off. We are not. We're not too far off, really. But we're just saying that this shortfall, this issue must be raised. There must be a resolution on it. Critical positions are sitting somewhere else and the money for that. Why are they not being given to the public safety to hire the HOD, to hire the police, to hire directors and DDs? Why do I have to write a report to say that these positions are critical? I said, give me my budget so that I'm able to operate. So they want to put a brake on an EFF controlled department where the deploy is so that I'm not being able to move. I'm actually being micromanaged. I said that I'm not going to allow a situation, that I'm actually being micromanaged. I try to be fine and in the previous.
Back live with you tonight here on In Focus. Why the budget of the Joburg Council was not supported by the majority of the so-called government of local unity. We're hearing from the MMC for Public Safety that he says that 500 million rands should at least have been budgeted for, at least reflected in this budget, which he needs to fill up a lot of acting positions, including heads of departments, chief of police, chief superintendents, directors, deputy directors, and so on and so forth within the public safety. So I wanted to understand, what are these unfunded mandates that you're saying have been historical within the department?
Look, like for example, just one of the examples. We are we are actually giving a service on the VIP to the other departments. So when we arrive, there's no SLA in terms of between the departments themselves. So we've put in people from our budget to be able to service the other, these departments.
Yeah.
So we've been requesting that there must be a budget allocated for them. I mean, for the VIPs which are actually there. So that actually adds into the shortfall at the end of the year. And another thing, Ebratab, which is very serious, which is now is actually costing a department a lot, is that we've got the security guard are with us, so we pay them, and we must recover our money from the other, the departments there. So you find that every end of the month we are under recovering by close to 33 million. So as you sum it up over the months, you find that we are actually at about a shortfall of about, let's say, about 400 million or so. And then it added now on the other issues like your VIP, of which the other departments are not paying us. for the services there. So
right.
that all of it, then we said to them, look, we need to look into this thing. We need to take all this budget of the security, must allocate a budget also for the VIP services we are giving. So we took this to the MECOM and told them that MECOM, we are fine with the capital expenditure. It's okay. We don't have money, we understand. We are okay with the other, operational expenditures which are there, but we are having a shortfall of about 847 million around there. And we said to them, look, for us to be able, we can meet you halfway. We're not being hard on this thing. We're saying that at least if you can allocate anything between 500 and 300, we are fine, so that we're able to operate and actually fill up, these positions within the public safety.
Right.
Problem we are having, Thabo, in a nutshell, without looking at the numbers, is the lack of consultation in terms when the budget was actually formed. But if there was a consultation, and all these issues were actually raised, we don't have any issues because we're not too far off. But what we're saying is that at least there has to be a consultation. We read, in the EFF, we're highly educated. We've been taught that we must do things by ourselves. And I've been warning the officials that I can read financial statements. I don't need any administrator to advise me. And I told them that this thing that it's actually we're gonna have an adverse finding from the AG, and it must be sorted out. And I raised it sharply in the MECOM before the budget speech. Now, boom, the finance department is presenting a budget to us, never consulted any political party. Yeah. I challenge you. You go into the finance department and to the elements of our finance, say that is what is Tshwaku saying true or not? We don't have any issues. We're fine. We are talking, but the truth of the fact is that we were not consulted. Okay. Most of us are not happy. We had to convene a political management committee to deal with this issue. But you find that even there, we're not finding each other because there's no, I said to them, if you can allocate this and then take the report, I'm not going to take any verbal agreement on anyone. If you can just address this shortfall, I'm not being too hard to ask the whole 800 million. I'm okay with anything between 300 and 500. At least I can move, I can operate in this department. Then there must be a roadmap to address a shortfall. And also this under recovery must be dealt with. All the departments which are having a security budget, which belongs to the JMPD, that budget must move into JMPD so that we don't have any under recovery. And all these unfunded mandates of the VIP of which we are servicing to all these departments, that money must come to us so that we are able to allocate the money proper, because we're not getting any money, but we've allocated people to do a service for the other department. I said to Tibos, these are the things that I want. I'm fine with it. Because if I don't get this money, I'm not going to be able to deliver. I'm not going to deliver on the Monday.
So you are saying that this budget was not presented to the MECO. It was not presented at that sitting. Was it presented to the MPEG before delivery?
No. Well, what happens is that you go to the budget steering committee. That's where the MMC and the officials will go there and say that, look, this is our wish list. And the wish list was the top of the agenda was the bylaw enforcement, because bylaw enforcement is not fully capacitated in the city. Reason being that when they change from a normal shift, the shift of like 12 hours, those normal shift to a 4-hour shift,
yes,
a 4-day shift, then you find that we needed to add more people.
Yeah.
So I said to them that we must budget for that. And then from there, it goes to, to some consultation. Then the finance will say, okay, on your wish list, these are the things that we're able to really fund. And then when they're done with that, they must write a report. It must go into the MECOM.
Yeah.
So in the MECOM, it arrived there. With the IDP, with the business plan, business plan now must be costed. And I said, no. I see things here that I'm not happy with. For example, these issues of the unfunded budgets and the cost overruns and all of that. And also I said to them, I don't see a point where we are saying we're going to be hiring traffic wardens, so that those traffic wardens are able to do the bylaws.
Yes,
and then
yes,
also
yes.
I said to them, I need a breakdown in terms of the operational costs, because remember, we've got 43 ambulances which needs run, of which we must actually fund them. They're actually standing there for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
But I managed to talk to really get the report through council, and also talk the province. Province agrees, but now we need money to run these ambulances. 43 of them standing still. I said, guys, these are the issues. And then in the MECOM, before I adopt that, I said, Mayor, I've got a dissenting view on. I'm going to write a minority report. I'm not happy about this budget, because the issue of the shortfall in the unfunded mandate. And for me, am I going to be able to pay staff in the next 3 months? What's going to happen? Then the mayoral committee adopted that a task team consisting of the city manager, the COO, which is your chief operations officer, and also the CFO, the chief financial officer, must go to public safety and address this issue of the finances of public safety and come and report.
Yes.
Now, all of a sudden, we were invited
did they
to
come?
a budget speech. They never did come.
They did do any investigation? Come. There was no investigation conducted by the task team.
Well, according to the acting HOD, yes, there's been negotiation, there's been talks 2 times before this, before the budget speech. And then they said, okay, this is what we need to do: identify critical positions, identify areas where of spanner control we want to hire. We must we must write a report on the issue that we had. So we wrote that report. It was ready. Now, all of a sudden, before they can come, they were supposed to have another follow-up meeting now to discuss on the way forward. I'm still waiting for that meeting, but we were ambushed. We were sent we were invited to a budget speech. But I asked them, I said, Mayor, but we have a resolution in the MECOM that these, task team supposed to come back and report. How are they going to address the issues of public safety? And I said that, well, so I took that net to the caucus of the EFF, spoke to the party leader, and also the whole caucus. We had a discussion the whole day. And what we did, we tried, we tried to reach out. We're not being impossible. Yeah. We tried to reach out, say, okay, fine, we don't have a MEC. Maybe we can have a quick MECOM now. Said, what is happening? Invite these officials and say, guys, what are you going to do with this, with the shortfall and all these other issues we raised? We were there, all of us. And I said, okay, they sort of in principle agreed that we're going to help you, we're going to give you an allocation. I said to them,
you want it in writing?
We want it in writing.
Right.
We want to take the report, amend the report, because I'm not going to take any gentleman's agreement. I did that. Last year. And that's where I ended up. I will remember I said to you that after launching a tactical direction unit, we're supposed to be hiring armor patrollers and the traffic wardens and all those things, so that those patrollers can be an eyes and ears of the TRU, because they're going to be there onto the ground. I could not do that. So all the promises that I was told that, no, let us accept this budget and move MMC, that there's going to be another fund that's going to give you. And you know what they said? No, it's fine, MMC. You're not going to get it on this last financial year. We're going to go to the adjustment budget, which was around February. Guess what? I was just a walk over there. All the things that I wanted, the guys, look, we must adjust so that I'm able to do A, B, C, and D. We even raised this matter again. We said to them, we are overspending because of these unfunded mandates, certainly. And also we did raise them. Okay. You know what? I was ignored.
MMC.
I was ignored. And we had the tables, we had the whole day discussion. And I was reaching out with everyone, say, guys, let's sit down, let's do this thing. We want to pass it, but at the end, we just could not do it because we're being bulldozed and all of that.
I will definitely be taking this forward and engaging with the mayor. We also had the MMC for finance, but of course, we didn't have the benefit of this information. So it would be good to get him back to get a sense of what's going on there.
But us, Tibos, we're not too far off. It's just some of the things that we need to fix and all. If they can have this thing that I'm talking about, the budget will be good to go. We don't have any issues.
MMC, appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us
Thank
this
you very
evening.
much, sir.
That's the City of Johannesburg Public Safety MMC raising some of the concerns that for him would be key to seeing the budget being passed off.